What it is, what it do, and how the hell are all of you? With yours truly, Petrov, motherfucker, back with one last motherfucker of 2019. It's been a dream. You already know the deal. We back with the real. It is a thrill. I can do this shit all day. I think it's fun. Anyways, moving onwards and upwards. So I just did the music one. Now we back with the political one because we all know in HotBox Talk, we fuck with the political shit heavy. Like heavy. That being said, I'm not trying to turn nobody no more. I'm not trying to convince the left to be the right. I'm not trying to convince the right to stay the right. I don't give a fuck. You believe what you want to believe, and you back whoever the fuck you want to back. But at least you better understand what the fuck they trying to do before you back them. That's all I can ask. That's for anybody, whether it's the right, the left, the independents, the Green Party, whatever the fuck, whatever it is, whatever. Anyways, we're going to start with some local shit, because this shit kind of irritating. So, the DFL got 12 candidates on Super Tuesday ballot, right? No problem. It's basically what it was in 2016, except for we had Republicans. Anyways, there's this, in Minnesota, I'll read it to you, you can check here 11. High Court to hear primary ballot challenge. Minnesota Supreme Court will decide whether political parties can control election slate. This is, the author is John Croman. This article is from yesterday, the December 30th, 2019. Minneapolis, when state lawmakers set up Minnesota's new presidential primary system, they left it to the major political parties to decide which names would go on the ballots. The DFL included 15 candidates, plus a 16th choice, uncommitted, for Super Tuesday voters. The GOP went with just President Donald J. Trump as the sole candidate on the ballot, with an allowance for write-ins. California. Rocky De La Fuente, a perennial candidate, has sued the state to get ballot access and challenged the law as unconstitutional. His complaint, which will be heard by the Minnesota Supreme Court on January 9th, asserts parties shouldn't get the final say on the candidate slates because taxpayer dollars are paying for the election. California should keep their nose the fuck out of Minnesota's business. Let's just keep that shit 100. California is a fucking dying state. Maybe they should worry about cleaning up the fucking shit on the streets and the needles and all that shit before they try to sue Minnesota because he wasn't allowed on the ballot. There are 3 other Republican candidates that do not have their panties in a bunch about this shit, that are going against Donald Trump, but they don't have their panties in a bunch. Donald Trump's campaign was the only campaign to reach out to the Republican Party of Minnesota to be on the ballot. Anyways, basically, they're hoping that all candidates on the GOP side of the ballot end up being on the ballot, including the client Rocky De La Fuente. Same with the ballot for the DFL. Now, my only issue is, Okay. What's most important? I'm just gonna finish the article. Most importantly, they're hoping that this doesn't happen again. The court would issue an order saying that this is constitutionally flawed and primaries of the future need to be fixed. But in Minnesota, the parties have always controlled the precinct caucuses, and that being replaced by the president's primary election. So they've made the case that they should also have the power to control which names go on the ballot, which they should. I'm sorry to say that, but if you're not, I don't know why a California representative needs to be on the ballot in Minnesota. If you can't win in your own country, state, why the fuck would you think you're going to win in Minnesota? Especially as a Republican, this doesn't make sense. Either way, it's $13 million, I believe, what they're suing for, because it's a taxpayer ballot, and it's just, basically, they just want one person to have the control over who gets on it, this, that, anything. I mean, granted, it's also a big time factor. Super Thursday is on March 3rd, and it's only, basically, they have, by state law, early absentee voting must be made available 46 days before the election. In the case of the March 3rd Super Tuesday primary, that would be January 17th. That's only 8 days after the Supreme Court takes the oral arguments in the case. So it's on a fucking timeline. It's a fucking very tight timeline. I'm not going to read much more into it. I just think it's a joke that that you're going to sue the state because you're not on the ballot when 3 other Republicans haven't got their panties in a bunch about it. And granted, California maybe should worry about California before they go worrying about what Minnesota's doing. That's just that's what my opinion boils down to when it comes to California politics. Worry about fucking California. Let Minnesota politics worry about Minnesota. Anyways, now we're gonna get into some of the political, like the candidates. Just a couple of them, not many, just a couple. But Biden, Joe fucking Biden, man. First he said he wouldn't go with the subpoenas, wouldn't listen to the subpoenas. Now he says he will, but he doesn't think he should have to because it's focused on Trump. He's trying not... he's not going to admit to having quid pro quo, even though it's on a fucking video that half of America has seen and the other half that's seen it act like they don't know what the fuck they're watching. Let's be real honest. People that act like they don't know what they're watching are fucking idiots. Anyways, onwards and upwards. He also decided to say that on Monday that he suggested that displaced coal miners should learn to code. By saying anybody who can go 3,000 feet down in a mine can sure as hell learn to program. I don't believe that that's at all true. What if they don't want to learn to program? Maybe that's just a them problem. Because Biden and his son, end up on the boards of committees they have no business being on. But we won't talk about that. Him saying this is no different than Hillary saying in 2016 that she was going to get rid of all these jobs. It's going to fuck him in the long run. And, this is where the other one comes in. Bernie Sanders is defending the job losses from the fossil fuel industry. He's defending that. And because he likes the Green New Deal. Bernie Sanders is a fucking socialist and he just wants to see the world burn in my eyes. He's not an anarchist, but in my eyes, he just wants to see the world burn unless they fall into what he wants or how he wants it. That's fucked up in my eyes, and I don't have to agree with that or be okay with it. And I'm not a Bernie supporter, and I'm never going to be. But just him defending the fact the job losses are there is fucking stupid to me. And the fact that Joe Biden is going to sit here and say, well, they can learn to code. Not that there isn't success stories of people that were coal miners, became coders, became people that worked on computers. Not that that's not possible, but a lot of these guys have been doing this shit for 20, 30 years. I don't think they're willing to hang up their coal mining boots to pick up a fucking keyboard. And the fact that you think they should have to is kind of fucked up. Joe Biden already cost millions of jobs over years. He's done this. Him and the Obama administration put in so many regulations and they cost so many people their jobs, and yet they want to act like, people want to act like Obama has something to do with this booming economy. He doesn't have shit to do with the booming economy. That's why his ass is over in Singapore saying that women would be great leaders if for 2 years of every country allowed women to lead it. Those aren't my words, those are his. I might have spun him a little differently, but those are his fucking words. I'm not going to repeat that shit verbatim for him. But like I said, I'm going to keep this shit short and sweet today because it's fucking the new year and I'm trying to have a blast too. But the fact that Biden's out here saying he's going to get rid of jobs and this, that, the other thing, Sanders is out here fucking defending that, it's nuts to me. And we're going to get into one more candidate. We're going to get into Bloomberg because Bloomberg, I don't even understand how he is in the fucking... I don't get it. I guess money does talk, I guess, in this sense. Because this man has dropped, at this point, over $120 million on ads attacking Trump and promoting his own campaign in the DFL. He hasn't even been on the debate stage yet. But there's been some projections so far that he could be spending upwards of $400 million to put ads out there. Some people say that's just an ego stroke to see his own name on the TV, this, that, the other thing. But he's just a lot like Tom Steyer. Tom Steyer actually has been on the debate stage, and he's mainly leading with a climate crisis argument. Do I think he's going to win? Not a shot in hell. Is the only reason he's on the debate stage because he has money? Yes. That's it. Can make your campaign look golden when it's really bronze, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with fucking Bloomberg. So, that being said, the two billionaires, whatever, they're definitely throwing millions and millions and millions of dollars into a race, and I guess we'll see how that shit plays out come 2020. And that all being said, I hope you all enjoy your fucking New Year's. I hope you have a blast. Last day of 2019. I hope you go into 2020 swinging. The first day of 2020, I didn't mean to pause there, sorry, I was thinking. The first day of 2020, I am going to drop a little fucking short segment just based on what I'm going to be doing and where HotBox Talk is going in the future. Man, this weed got my dry mouth kicking. But we're going to see where HotBox Talk is going, or we're going to stick with these small formats, the small single format, just a little video, not a little video, but a little podcast here and there. Still going to do some long ones. Definitely working on the guests, but we'll find out more tomorrow. Anyways, you guys have a great rest of the year. Great rest of the year, you get it? Smoke some, drink some, fuck some, and live life, because tomorrow's a new year. And that is all. Petrov out this motherfucker. Peace.